In a perfect world where no civilians and criminals have guns, I think ain't no one got guns, ain't no one got shots. You're probably thinking, oh my god, this good-looking Taiwanese man lives in Fantasyland and is trying to tell us what to do with our rights. But am I living in Fantasyland or are you?
How dare you?
Some people in the last video are saying it's for self-defense and the ability to resist a totalitarian government, to keep the government in check. Tyranny-wise, it probably acts as somewhat of a deterrent. Among the 340 million people in the US, 2.5 million of those are military personnel. The military is outnumbered 136 to 1. However, the average American man exercises around 3 hours a week, and 40% of those are just walking. An average soldier, on the other hand, spends around 7 hours in cardio and strength training a week, not counting the combat training. Also, the military has M1 Abrams tanks, which can shoot down helicopters using special rounds and have depleted Uranian armor plates that are 2.5 times denser than steel. Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, which destroyed more tanks than the M1 Abrams did in the Gulf Wars because of its TOW missiles. HIMARS rocket system, which can fire a ballistic missile that can travel 186 miles and is getting an upgrade to 310 miles. AH-64 Apache, which the pilot can aim by looking at the target and has a front windscreen strong enough to stop a 50 caliber bullet. F-16 Fighting Falcon, which is so well designed that a pilot named Amos Amir actually landed one with almost the entirety of his right-wing destroyer. And these are just the commonly used equipments in the military. They also have secure communications, intelligence, and electronic warfare systems. And the GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator, which is not only my nickname, but it's also a 30,000-pound air-launched bomb that can destroy underground bunkers up to 200 feet if it's earth and 60 feet if it's concrete. Now, even if all US citizens are driving Cybertrucks and they all have 3 lives, the odds are still looking pretty bad on the civilian side.
I like these odds better.
Guns give people the false sense of being able to keep the government in check. Citizens armed with handguns and rifles are not going to do much against a professional army. And this is not just a professional army. This is literally the strongest army on earth. Laws and morals are what keep the government from being corrupted and doing whatever it wants. Civilian gun ownership doesn't equal freedom or quality of life, or else Yemen and Serbia would be the freest and best country behind the US. It is true that dictatorial countries like China and North Korea have very low civilian-held firearm counts, but so do countries like Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan, which are all quite safe and have good life quality. Reality is often way too complicated to base conclusions on a single indicator.
For that 10 years we had it done, the number of mass shootings actually went down.
And since then, the number of massacres has increased 183%.
Mass shootings went up 200% in the decade after the assault weapons ban expired.
Not to mention, in this case, it is totally wrong. I despise the idea of settling things through who has the bigger gun.
That's because you're weak.
Things should be settled through debates with representatives from all participants. Then a vote. Sadly, it's not like that in real life, but I still look down on the people who resort to violence against people who have different opinions. Self-defense wise, criminals have guns. So I recommend people learning this. Dodging bullets while instantly become friends with the aggressor. If and only if you fail to do so, you should own guns. For now, the US government should make improvements on the economy and try to get rid of most, if not all, the firearms from the criminals.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
I know it's a very general advice. Also, it would take more than a few years of effort and politicians from different parties to put aside their differences and work together, which is almost impossible. But this will make the country a lot safer, and the need to own a gun for self-defense will disappear eventually. Pepper spray would be enough then. It could probably be refined to spray more or have stronger effects, like a bear spray. A little bit of blindness goes a long way. we've come to the shocking conclusion that I am actually pro-gun for now. Didn't see that coming, huh? You conservative.
You take that back!
But as the Supreme Court would put it, it is not a right to keep and bear any weapon whatsoever in any manner whatsoever and for whatever purpose. There needs to be some limitations on it, and to that I have 3. Number 1, universal background check. Citizens should be checked for criminal records to limit high-risk people's access to firearms. A waiting process also delay and may even prevent impulsive homicide and suicide. Number 2, guns shouldn't be allowed in certain places like schools, hospitals, libraries, or public gatherings where there are big crowds and people are unable to defend themselves. It should also be banned in government buildings. If a certain politician is doing a hell of a bad job, they should be removed through either election, impeachment, judicial system if they have done anything illegal, instead of bullets. I don't know enough about American laws, but if it's really unfair, then people should work on that instead of shooting others. Number 3, no fully automatic weapons or large capacity magazines. Fully automatic weapons should not be allowed in civilian hands because it can cause more damage in a shorter period of time comparing to a semi-auto one, while making no sense in most self-defense scenario. One might assume firing full automatic gives more stopping power, when in reality you lose a lot of accuracy. In turn, lowers the chance of hitting your target and increases the chance of hitting innocent bystanders. I have never shot a gun before.
Then why are you still talking?
But I think 8 rounds in a magazine seem to be enough for most self-defense scenarios. Unless your aim is really bad, then you should be learning how to shoot first, instead of getting a bigger mag. So anything over than that seems unnecessary and dangerous. Now it's time for your opinions, and let me know if I am wrong on anything, since I am but a mere outsider. Leave them in the comments, and I will reply next time. See ya!